by creating this little mini pizza box. We're going to embellish it, and then we're going to create 4 note cards to go inside. And then at the end, I'm going to give you some tips on how to create tags to go with it, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and move these out of the way. And the Tea Together stamp set is located in the Occasions catalog. And the great thing is this stamp set is going to carry over to the brand new catalog. And the framelits will be available in the new catalog. So here's the stamp set. The flowers are just beautiful in it. It has some lovely greetings. And of course we have a teapot and a teacup. And then the framelits coordinate with the stamp set. And I'll show you real quick which pieces. The teacup can be cut out with a framelit. The teapot can be cut out with a framelit. This leaf can be cut out with the framelit. This piece, the little rosebuds, this flower, and this flower. So you can cut out all of the stamped images using the framelits that go with this, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get our pizza box out. Again, if you're just joining me, go ahead and join in. Say hello. All right, so we're gonna start just by putting the mini pizza box together. All right, and the mini pizza boxes are located in our annual catalog. And I can't remember how many you get in a package. They are food safe. The glossy is the interior of the box. Right now, I am just folding score lines, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this over. And now I am going to shut it. All right, and I think I already told you, but the mini pizza boxes will carry over. I am just trying to pop that in. There we go. Okay. All right, so yeah, if your box is not closing well for you, definitely fold those score lines, okay? And that will help. All right, so we're actually gonna use some of our Gingham Gala paper, and I'm gonna measure this for you. And this is going to go on the sides of the box, okay? And this measures 1 inch by 3.5 inches. And you're going to need 4 of these. And you have the option of using the buffalo check on this side or the gingham check on this side. All right, and I am going to use my Tombow liquid glue for this. And I am going to apply it to the box, just like this. And then I'm going to add the paper. The nice thing about using the Tombow is, once it's dry, we know that it's going to stick, okay? And the other reason is because we have a few minutes that we can move the paper, the designer paper, around on the box, okay? Hi, Margaret, thanks for joining. All right. And if you all have any questions while I'm doing this, please let me know. I will try and look up at the monitor and answer those questions if I can, okay? All right. So as you can see, it just takes a few minutes for this to dry. You certainly don't have to use the Highland Heather gingham paper. You can use any of the colors that come in the Gingham Gala paper pack. And it's a 6x6 paper pack. And we're using all the colors in it tonight to create our note cards. All right. And now I have one more to go. And it's this side right here. And we're just going to attach this to the box, okay? All right. And Gingham Gala, this paper is in the Occasions catalog. and it's not carrying over, but the great news is we're going to get the gingham check and buffalo check on the other side. We're getting this in every one of our colors in the brand new catalog, okay? Lee's asking me about the Tombow glue. I do like to use it because I know it's gonna hold. It is a little sticky on the fingers, I will admit. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is add this Highland Heather piece of cardstock, all right? And I don't know if you can see this or not, but it is embossed with one of our embossing folders. All right, so I am going to bring in the embossing folder that we're using tonight, and this is the lace border. I believe that's the name of it. This is one of our 3D embossing folders. So when you emboss with this one, you're going to get a really deep image in your paper. So let's measure the cardstock that's going on top of the box. And it measures 3 1/4 inches by 3 1/4 inches because it is a square, okay? Now, once you insert your cardstock, you need to decide how you want it to look on top of your box. What I mean is you've got to figure out the design that you want on that piece of cardstock, okay? So you can kind of see what I'm going for. I've got a flower here and here, and one here and here. So this is kind of the design that I'm going after. Now, it is one of our thick embossing folders, like I just said. So let me show you the layout for your Big Shot, okay? So hang on one second. You're going to need the Big Shot platform, which came with your Big Shot. And then you're going to insert, or you're going to lay your embossing folder right on top of that platform, and one cutting pad, and roll this through the Big Shot. Now remember, you want the folded edge of the embossing folder to roll through the Big Shot first, okay? And then put your cutting pad on top. And when it comes out of the Big Shot, you're going to have this design. And of course, you can use either side. They're both equally as beautiful. And so again, I'm going to bring in the Tombow glue, and I'm going to put this right on top. As soon as I get my glue to move, I must be getting to the bottom. Hang on. Come on. I know there's glue in here. All right, here we go. We're working now. All right, I'm just going to put some right along here. Okay, just like that. And the beauty of this is once I put this piece of cardstock down, I am going to have a little bit of wiggle room, okay? All right, and what I'm doing is I am just centering that, okay? And any glue that's left over, I always just take a wet paper towel and I just kind of wipe that, okay? All right, so now that part of the box is done and we're ready to do some stamping. All right, so I am going to start with the black Memento ink. I'll put this little guy right over here. And then we're going to need the teapot stamp. And let's see, I'm going to need a piece of scrap gingham gala paper. So let's measure this piece. You're going to want this piece to be about 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. So it is a square. And since the teapot is a pretty big stamp, I am going to just ink this up. I'm sorry, I am shaking the table and the camera. All right. And then I am going to stamp the teapot right in the middle. Okay? And then I do need to stamp this flower, so let me bring in some scrap paper. And again, we're using the black Memento ink and the flower. And I'll just stamp that right there. All right. Now, one more item to stamp, and that's our Happy Mother's Day. So I'm going to bring in Highland Heather. Thanks, ladies, for sticking with me. I'm glad you're here. All right, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp Happy Mother's Day right there. Okay, so let's bring in the circle punch. It's a 1 1/4 inch circle punch, and I am going to just insert the cardstock and punch that. Okay, all right. And now for these two pieces, you are going to need your framelits, okay? And so you're going to need the teapot framelit right here. And then you're going to need the flower framelit. And you're just going to keep turning until you find how it fits. It's like a puzzle, okay? Now both of these items are getting cut out with the Big Shot. So let me show you your sandwich for this. For this one, I use the magnetic platform, and I put down 1 cutting pad, and then I lay my pieces right on top of the platform, just like this. Okay, let's pretend that I've lined everything up perfectly. And then we're just gonna put another cutting pad on top and roll this through the Big Shot, okay? And once that's done, you're going to have this little teapot and this flower. So let's go ahead. We've got a little bit of coloring to do. And I'm going to start with my Stampin' Blends. And I am going to color the leaves. And I am using the lighter Stampin' Blend here, okay? All right, and I do love coloring with Stampin' Blends because it looks like I know what I'm doing. It looks like I know how to color. All right, and where those dark lines are, I'm taking the dark Stampin' Blend and I am putting it right across that line for shading, okay? And that is probably really hard for you to see with the angle of my camera. So let me just bring that up so that you can see how I colored it, okay? All right, so that's Granny Apple Green. And now I'm gonna bring in Highland Heather. And I am going to start with the lightest color. I'm just gonna use some little circular motions here. And try and stay within the lines. Okay. And now I'm going to get the darker blend and I'm going to come back and I'm just going to outline this a little bit just around the edges. And this is the dark Highland Heather. So the two Stampin' Blends I'm using tonight are Highland Heather and Granny Apple Green, okay? I am going to bring in the light one again. And I'm going to do a little blending. And I'm going to blend that dark right in there, okay? And again, coloring's not my favorite thing, but when I'm using Stampin' Blends, it is. So here's the flower right here, so you can get a closer look, just in case you didn't see it. If anybody else is visiting, please leave a comment. All right, would love to hear from you. All right, we're now ready to bring our box back in, and now we're going to embellish the box. And so I am going to flip over the teapot, and I'm going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on the teapot. I'll put one here. I love using these things. All right, and there's the little mini dimensional. Okay, and now at this point I'm going to peel these off. All right, and while I'm doing this, you probably have noticed the address to my online store, and this is May's Hostess Code. So if you're planning on purchasing the Everything is Rosy product medley, you can definitely do that in my online store, and that is the Hostess Code. All right, so I am just going to lay this right on top now, and we are going to need to punch with our 1 3/8 inch scallop circle punch. We're going to punch this out in Highland Heather, okay? And then we're going to put this right on top of the teapot. And I'm going to put it about right there. All right. And then let's pop up Happy Mother's Day. And we'll put that right in the center. And then we'll also pop up, and I think I'll use a smaller one here. Let's go ahead and let's pop up the flower. All right. And I can put that right against there. And now we'll get the rhinestones out. All right. Okay, let's see, need scissors. And let's put one there. And these two just kind of fell off the sheet, so maybe we can use both of these. Okay, and now that's trash, and we'll get one more for the flower. Okay, so that's how you make the little mini pizza box. And now I'm going to show you how to make the note cards to go inside. All right, so let me move a few things around here. Oh, you know what I forgot? The bow. So let's do the bow real quick. This organdy ribbon was available during celebration as one of the free gifts. So it's no longer available, but I do have a little bit left, and so I've been using it. I'm going to take a glue dot, and I am going to put it behind the knot of that bow. And then I can add it right here. And I'll take my scissors and trim that. Okay, and so now we have the little bow there. All right, so now let me move just a few things out of my way so that I can reach the note cards. Okay. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna move the little boxes out of the way now. And this is Daffodil Delight, okay? Thank you, Margaret. I'm glad you liked the box. This is Daffodil Delight Teapot. This one here is Balmy Blue. And this is Lemon Lime Twist, which this color is about to retire. So it's an in color, and it retires on May 31st. And this is Grapefruit Grove, okay? So now I'm going to show you how to make one of these sweet little tags, all right? We're going to make one in Balmy Blue tonight, and we are going to need our teapot stamp, which is right here, and we're going to need the black Memento ink, okay? All right, and again, we're going to go ahead and ink this up. All right, and then we're going to stamp it right on this piece of Balmy Blue Gingham. And let me measure this piece of designer paper for you. It's 3.5 by 3.5 inches. So you need a piece at least this big to stamp your teapot, okay? All right, so while we're stamping, let's go ahead and bring in the Balmy Blue ink. And let's see, here's my scrap paper. And this says, love is a warm cup of tea. All right, so I've stamped it right here. I'm going to use the 1-inch circle punch, and I'm going to punch it right there, okay? So that little piece is already done for us. And then while I'm with the punches, let's go ahead and bring in the 1 1/8 of an inch scallop circle punch. And let's punch that out in balmy blue cardstock, okay? And so we don't lose these two pieces, let's go ahead and pop the words up on the balmy blue cardstock, okay? All right, and I'll just go ahead and put that in, and then we'll set this aside, all right? All righty. Now, the next thing is, I'm going to show you how to create this tag, okay? So what you'll need is a piece of Whisper white cardstock. And you're going to want it to measure at 7 inches by 3 1/4 inches. And then you're going to take your scoring tool and you're going to score this at 3 1/2 inches, okay? And so we're going to need our framelit. So let me just reach over and grab the framelit here. And the trick to making the tag is this. If you look at the inside of this little note card, you'll see that it's one piece right here at the top, okay? And so what you're going to do is you're going to lay your teapot framelit right along the top. And do you see how part of that, the top of that teapot is not on the paper, okay? If I cut it like this, I'm going to cut out 2 teapots. But I'm going to slide my teapot up, all right, just enough that it's over the fold line, okay? And let me show you how to put it in your Big Shot. You'll use the magnetic platform once again, and a cutting pad, and your teapot and paper, and look, be sure that that framelit is above the fold line, okay, which is the score line. And then another cutting pad, and you're actually going to run this through the Big Shot, okay? And when it comes out of the Big Shot, your little teapot note card will be connected there, okay? And at this point, this is when you take your teapot here, and you have to also cut this one out, okay? So you will cut that one out as well, all right? And once that's cut out, and I'm hoping I have a sample here. Maybe I didn't make a sample. Once that's cut out, then you're going to take this little piece, and all you do is glue this right on top, okay? And I thought I had cut one out, but you know what I'll do? Sorry about that. Let's bring in the Big Shot and do it real quick, okay? All right, so let me get my platform together here, just like this. All right, and I'll do it this way so you can see that teapot. So sorry, thought I had this cut already. All right, and we're gonna move this framelit, all right, so that it fits right on top of that stamped image. And then we're going to put this cutting pad on top. But it's a little difficult for me to do it that way because of the position of the camera. And so I'm going to do this real quick because I do want you to see how cool this turns out, okay? All right, so now it has come through. All right. All right, and now we have our little teapot. And yes, once again, we are going to use Tombow glue, okay? All right, I am all discombobulated here. There we go, a little bit straighter. All right, so I'm just gonna put a little bit right here. All right, put that back on. And you're going to glue this right on top. And we're going to give that just a few minutes to dry. Okay. And then when you open it, you have a little note card. So we'll go ahead and we'll finish embellishing this. All right. And I know we set my stamped pieces aside, and now I can't find them. Here it is. All right, so this time, you know what? I'm just gonna use Tombow, excuse me. All right, so we'll just put some Tombow on this too. All right, since I had already popped up the cardstock. Okay, that's done. Now I can put that away. And let's add a sweet little bow. Again, this is more the organdy ribbon, okay? All right, we're gonna trim this just like this. And we're going to use a glue dot. All right, and we'll put it about right there, okay? So now you have a little teapot tag. Now let me show you another variation of this teapot, okay? And I actually might, yeah, I can zoom in a little bit. All right, like I said, I am very new to this. All right, maybe I'll zoom back out a little bit, all right. Okay, so with this teapot, I did this one a little differently. This one opens from the bottom. And in order to do that, you'll need your teapot. And here is the fold line here, okay? So I'm gonna turn it around and I'm going to lay the teapot right on top. This time, I'm going to leave some area where there isn't any cardstock, okay? And roll that through the big shot, and when it rolls through, then the bottom is connected, okay? So I hope everybody understands how to do that. You just wanna be sure that your teapot is hanging off of the fold line a little bit, okay? Now, one other little trick before I leave you today, or tonight, I'm gonna show you how to make one with the teacup. So now you can have a little teacup tag. All right, and this little teacup opens like this, all right? So you're going to need some cardstock again, and let's measure this piece for the teacup. It measures at 3 1/4 inches by 4 inches. And then you're gonna score it at 2 inches. All right, see that 2-inch score line? I've already scored that. And now we're gonna take the teacup framelit, which is this piece right here, and we are going to move that teacup framelit up a little bit so that it will be over the fold line again. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope you're able to see that, okay? If I were to take the teacup and put it way down here, it would cut 2 teacups. Hey, Suzanne, thank you for joining. But because I'm moving the teacup up above that fold line or the score line, then I'm able to get this little tag when it comes out of the big shot, okay? And it's the same sandwich as the teapot, okay? And by sandwich, I mean the magnetic platform, cutting pad, paper and framelit, and another cutting pad, okay? And if you don't understand that, let me know. I'm happy to explain. All right, I've taken the time to stamp and cut out a teacup, so that little part is done. And you guessed it, I am going to bring in my Tombow again. All right. And I'm just gonna put some here. All right. So it's right on the front. And now I'm going to add the Gingham Gown design paper. Gingham Gala, say that fast. All right. And so now I have two little teacup tags, okay? All right, so anybody have any questions? All right, I can now scroll through and I can look at comments, and I want to thank all of you for joining me tonight. You'll be able to watch this on the replay if you missed the beginning. All right, I'm going to take that cute little pizza box that we made, and I'm going to put our note cards inside. All right, so I'll just put them all in here. You could add some crinkle shredded paper in here with some chocolate as well, okay? And that would be a nice little gift for your mom or for a friend.
Time can really change the way we live. Focused on the sharing and the chance we have to